The Most Beautiful Village in the World by Yutaka Kobayashi. Plums, cherries, pears, pistachios. It's spring. The village of Pagman is filled with flowers. It's summer. Every year, when the wind rustles the leaves and the fruits sway on the branches, the people of the village go out and pick plum apricots, plums, and cherries. Harvest, when the sweet scent fills the air, is the happiest time of year. Are there plums? Are there pears? Are there bright red beads of cherries? Got them, ate them, or dried them without eating them? Usually, Yamo races with his brother Harun to pick plums and fill his basket. But this summer Harun is not here. There is a war in Yamo's country, and his brother is a soldier. Today Yamo is going into town for the first time with Pompa the donkey to sell fruit. He is going to help his father in place of his brother. Goodbye, Mom. Yamo leaves home early in the morning with his father. The heavy baskets of sweet plums and bright red cherries are swaying on Pompa's back. Hey Yamo, are you going somewhere? The people of the village call to him. Yep, I'm going with my dad. Okay, hope you sell a lot. Along the way, Yamo repeats the words that his father has taught him. Cherries here, sweet little sons, cherries from Pagman. The sun rises over the road and suddenly it's hot. Buses and trucks heading to town pass Yamo and his father. They arrive in town. Excited voices are everywhere. There is a sheep market. A man selling roasted beans shouts loudly. Yamo can smell shish kebab roasting and bread baking. There are also the smells of carpets and books. The town is so lively that Yamo's heart beats faster. Yamo's father finally decides to open his stand in the large plaza where people go back and forth. I'm going to sell the plums here in the plaza. Why don't you walk around town and try to sell the cherries? All by myself? Pompa will be with you. He knows his way around this town. He has no choice, so Yamo starts to walk. It's as if he's being pulled along by Pompa. First, Pompa takes Yamo to the covered bazaar. Small, colorful shops are crammed side by side. People are shopping, some are drinking tea. Can I sell my cherries in a place like this? Yamo worries. He gathers his courage and shouts, "Cherries here!" No one turns around. He tries shouting louder, "Cherries! Cherries from Pagman here!" Yamo uses his small voice as he passes in front of fruit shops. Cherries. Ring, 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 ring. Watch out, get out of my way. A horse taxi races past Yamo, ringing its bells. The town is so hectic it makes Yamo dizzy. No one buys his cherries. Disappointed, Yamo sits down by the roadside. Then, "I want cherries from Pagman, please," a little girl says. After that, Yamo's cherries sell quickly. "Little boy, will you give me some? I used to grow fruit near Pagman. Those were good years." "Where were you in the war, sir?" "Yes, that's where I lost my leg." Yamo is shocked. He thinks about his brother, Harun. The man puts a cherry into his mouth. Very sweet and a bit sour. Pagman's cherries are always so tasty. They're the best in the world. "Dad, I sold all my cherries." Yamo's father, standing behind his plums, smiles. He's sold fewer than half. "Is that so? Then why don't you take a break and get something to eat?" Yamo's father asks the man next to him to watch over his stand. Yamo and his father eat their lunch in a chaikana, a tea house. Good smells fill the air. Yamo tells his father what he saw in town. "A man who lost his leg in the war bought my cherries too. He said Pagman's cherries are the best in the world." Yamo takes out a handful of cherries. "I kept some because I wanted to eat them with you, Dad." A man sitting next to them starts talking. "You've sold a lot, haven't you?" "My son Yamo did. My older son has gone to the war. That's worrisome. I've heard that the war in the south is quite hard. He says that he should be back by next spring." Yamo listens while he drinks sweet tea. He believes that his brother Harun will be all right, but Yamo worries. Just then his father whispers, "I have a surprise for you later, Yamo." "What? What is it? Tell me, please." "You still have to sell the rest of the plums." Yamo puts the last cherry into his mouth. They say goodbye to the man and leave the tea room. The sound of prayer is heard from the mosque in the plaza. A sense of serenity embraces the town. "Plums, plums here, plums from Pragman," Yamo calls, while he thinks of what his father told him. What could the surprise be? Finally, all the plums have been sold. Now we can go to where the surprise is. Yamo's father walks straight across the plaza with him. Yamo can't wait. From on top of his father's shoulders, he sings loudly, "What is it? What is it? What's the surprise?" They come to the sheep market. Yamo's father buys a young lamb with all the money they earned. It is a pure white lamb. It will be the first sheep that Yamo's family has ever owned. No one else in the village has such a beautiful lamb. "Now, Pampa, let's go home. Everyone is going to be surprised to see this lamb." Eventually, they arrive in their village. It smells like home. Although Yamo has been away from the village for just one day, he feels like he has returned from a very long trip. "Everyone is looking at our lamb." Yamo walks along the village street with his chest puffed out. Yamo asks his father if he can give the lamb a name. He calls it Bahar. The name means spring. "Please come home quick, Brother Harun. We have a new member of our family. Spring is still nearly a year away." In the winter, the village was destroyed in the war. It no longer exists.